Hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop1970. This is my review for the day. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well my friends, it's finally here. It's time to do a brand new top 5 list that nobody has never done before. And this brand new top 5 list it's going to be the most different one of all. So for today's top 5 list is the top 5 most underrated epic movies of all time. And to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I am such a big fan of underrated films. There's a lot of good underrated movies to choose from. Is it from a comedy, drama, romance, action, or your favorite animation films? You name it. But I'm looking for some good movies that did release pure epicness, in my own opinion. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my top 5 most underrated epic movies of all time. Let's get started at number 5. At number 5, if you guys already know what's my most favorite Liam Neeson movie of all time, or rather, my 2 favorite underrated Liam Neeson films of all time. After all, I still got it right here. So anyway, at number 5 goes to the Taken Saga. I will say that Taken Saga is definitely the best Liam Neeson movies I have ever seen in my life. And thanks to this movie, this is where Liam Neeson played the most strongest character in the whole entire movie, a guy named Brian Mills. I will say the storyline is pretty well done for both of these films. The characters were decent here and there, but except for Brian Mills, he is the most epic one of all. I love the action scenes, I love the drama, and I really love the score. The only thing that the Taken Saga brought true epicness for both of these movies is 2 things. One is when Liam Neeson played the most strongest character in the whole entire movie. I will say that Brian Mills is definitely one of the best movie characters of all time, with a great storyline, great personality, great attitude. And for the very first time when I saw Taken 1, I was thinking that Liam Neeson was like in his 40s when he did this movie. I'm talking about his character, Brian Mills. He's more like in his 40s and not his 50s. Every time I look at his gorgeous face. So, yeah. Brian Mills is one of the most epic parts about this movie. The second epic part about both Taken 1 and 2 is the score. I frickin' love the score. It was so darn well done. It's pure epicness in so many ways. So anyway, the Taken Saga deserves to be at number 5. Number 4 goes to one of the best 80s movies of all time, and this is a very underrated movie that Jim Henson made for so many years. So for number 4 goes to The Dark Crystal. I will say The Dark Crystal did release true epicness in this film. It had a good storyline, has good characters, except for the Skeksis. I hate the Skeksis. I love the puppetry, I love the drama, I love the fantasy. Also, I frickin' fell in love with the score. The 2 most strongest points about this movie is the puppetry and the score. I mean, the puppets were very well done. I love all the creatures that came from in this movie, and the score was so darn epic. I mean, to tell you the truth, the Dark Crystal score is definitely one of my most favorite movie scores of all time, period. This is a very well done movie, and you guys need to check it out. So The Dark Crystal deserves to be at number 4. Number 3 goes to another good, underrated action film, but this movie is pretty Oscar-worthy in my opinion, back in the year 2003. I don't mind the Lord of the Rings Return of the King one for Best Picture, but, yeah, this movie is pretty darn underrated, and here you go. Number 3 goes to The Last Samurai. I really love this movie, and this is, in my opinion, the best Tom Cruise film that I ever watched. I think this is the only Tom Cruise movie I can enjoy. It had a very well done storyline, it has good characters, I love the sceneries of Japan, it had a good score. I will say the most epicness about this movie is definitely the storyline. It's a storyline about this American soldier who is learning about the true spirit of becoming a samurai. And he's, becoming one of them in later on this movie. I mean, this movie is pretty well done. It's a very good film. I'm very sorry it did not win any Golden Globes or Oscars, but this is a very underrated, Oscar-worthy film. I mean, this is a really good movie, and I gotta go back and rewatch this film because I haven't watched this movie for a while. Since the last time I watched it was last year. So The Last Samurai deserves to be at number 3. Number 2 goes to one of my most favorite Miyazaki films of all time, and this movie was also pretty darn epic. I will say this is Hayao Miyazaki's most epic movie that has no flaws at all, along with Spirited Away. Spirited Away has no flaws at all. So anyway, for number 2 goes to Ponyo. I love Ponyo. It's such a very good movie. A very cute animation film. It had a very well done storyline, it has great animation, great characters that are memorable, and I really love the score too. I will say the most epic thing I really love about this movie is the magic. This movie has such pure magic that you gotta see in this film. It is very well done, it's very well creative, and this is one of the best Miyazaki films that did release some true epicness. And, yes, I did hear the news that Miyazaki is going to retire. He's no longer going to work in Studio Ghibli, and that's freaking sad. I'm gonna miss that dude. And I promise I'll check out his 2 other of his last films that he worked on. But anyway, Ponyo will always be one of the best epic underrated films that I ever watched. So I decided to put Ponyo at number 2. And finally, number 1 is, sadly, I don't have this movie with me because it's already returned back to the library. But thanks to this movie, it's the most pure epic film that I ever watched. Even if this movie does have a 9 out of 10, if you guys did see my movie review last week. So anyway, for the number 1 most underrated epic movie is Tron Legacy. I freaking love Tron Legacy. It was a very well done epic movie that released pure epicness. It had a good storyline, has likable characters, except for a few. It has great highlight moments. I love the details. I love the score. I love the special effects. I mean, this movie was so freaking well done. I mean, it's pure epic. It's a pure epic movie, and you guys need to go back and rewatch this film. I will say the only thing that's pure epic about Tron Legacy is 2 things. The special effects and the score. For the special effects, it was pretty darn well done in its own right. I love the sceneries, I love the lighting, I love the costume designs, I love the motorcycle thing, and the disc wars. There's a lot of things I like about Tron Legacy, and the other one was the score by Daft Punk. Daft Punk did a pretty good job with the score, and I really enjoyed the ending theme for the credits. That was the most pure epic score I ever heard, and I heard that score many, many times on YouTube. I mean, this movie did blow me away. So anyway, Tron Legacy deserves to be the number 1 pure, epic, underrated movie of all time. Hands down. So anyway, ladies and dudes, there you go. That is my top 5 most underrated epic movies of all time. I hope you enjoyed this list, and tell me what are your favorite movies out there that are kind of underrated to you that involves pure epicness. Anyway, just leave a comment there and let me know, and join me next time for my next top 5 list. As finally, I'm going to do my top 5 most strongest point of Ramin Karimou. So be prepared for that one to come, and I'll see you all later. Sayonara.